Okay. Hey, everybody. It's Mike.
It's Mike's Daily Podcast.
All right, this is a host that is not happy because I did this show. I did like 20 minutes of a
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And it crashed on me. So I did all this before. This is deja vu. This is something that's not something I like to do. I had all of this already done. And actually, I videoed it too. Wow. Wonderful. So,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
If you go to mikesdailypodcast.com, you can actually see what the podcast was before. This one.
Mike's
Take 1.
Daily.
This is take 2.
Podcast.
Just click on the thing that says,
yeah.
See the video of the podcast here. Yes, this is Angry Mike. This is what Angry Mike's voice sounds like. What do you think? It's not as happy and jovial, is it? It's more like, It's episode 3001. 3301. 3003. This number really throws me. 3301, 3301, or perhaps you'd like to say 3301. However way you want to say it. That's what we've done. We've done a lot of podcasts. All right, I got some interesting stuff here. I'm going to tell you it, and I'm going to make a funny comment about stuff here and there, and we'll hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer. How's that?
This show is clean.
That's not as easy as it sounds. Every podcast on the planet cusses, except for this one, yours truly. I keep it clean. You know the guy that invented the wonderful device that I'm using? It's called Adobe Audition. His name was Fraunhofer. Fraunhofer. It's a very German-sounding name. I'm sure he was a German. Did you know in Germany, Grimace is big? The McDonald's purple guy.
And here's today's podcast picture.
There was like a St. Patrick's Day Grimace, wasn't there? It was Grimace O'Leary or something. He was green. The podcast pictures of neither, but of yours truly, Mike Matthews. Me. Over there by Niles. They got a bunch of lakes there. There were these quarries they dug and they filled them up with water, and now they're nice little lakes, and I got a picture next to it if you want to know what I look like. See it at mikesdailypodcast.com. The late great Basil the Boxer and I went there many times. In fact, speaking of dogs, there was that whole dog situation I talked about in the previous podcast where I was walking along and there was a dog with no owner, but one of those collars that beeps when they bark or when they're out, when they leave the house. I don't know what they do. I never put one of those on Basil, but it was beeping like crazy. And the owner was actually far, far away. I couldn't see him, but I just hung out with this dog he wouldn't let me walk. This dog would get in between my legs and try and trip me. Like he didn't want me to go. He wanted to stay close to me. So I thought I had a new dog, but then the owner showed up and the end of the story. If you want further details, embellishment, you can listen to I think it was 2 podcasts ago. And I'll have all the details there for you. Back when we were in the 3200s. But Grimace is getting his own color-themed menu in Germany only. So Fraunhofer will get to check it out himself. Complete with blueberry-filled cake pops and a purple cream cheese pie. They also have this berry and cream sauce and a purple barbecue burger. A purple barbecue burger that has buns that are the color violet. And you can have that with your Grimace shake. And Grimace, like I'm not doing right now, especially with the gas prices. So, yeah, nationwide, gas prices have gone up 40% since late April, basically almost doubled. I was going to mention the money that we're putting into our tanks, except for those of you in your electric cars. But Tesla doesn't care about you. They're making the new what's it called? It's not the Cybertruck. It's the semi-truck. They're rolling off the production line, but
Mike is on it.
I am.
Go with no man.
Thank you.
We love it, Mike.
Very much. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So that means the money that's going into the tank if we have gas engine type cars, that's money that's not going to restaurants. It's not going into, let's say, a nice trip or travel or going anywhere, because the money is also, it's more expensive to travel with the price of jet fuel, etc. And we're not spending this money on retail, on things like clothes, and maybe we like video games. You buy video games.
Like they got an area where you can get specialty burgers. They got an area where you can get chicken. They got an area where you can get all this food. And you've never seen anything like it in your life.
You're not spending money on that. Or here at Café Anyway, where we have all that stuff. No. And lower income households feel it most. The bottom 20% of earners, they spend around 10% of their income on energy related stuff. Gas, heating, light, energy stuff. And the higher transportation costs are also going to...
I got into it.
She's laughing. She's laughing at me. You can expect higher prices and laugh there. She'll be laughing at all of us. Higher prices with groceries, especially fresh food. Because the fresh food needs to be trucked in, and that costs more. Diesel prices are through the roof, etc. Airlines. Jet fuel's way more expensive. So that means shipping is more expensive. And then ride sharing, unless these are all electric vehicles. Ride sharing and now delivery too.
When you are a man, sometimes you wear stretchy pants.
If you're delivering stuff, you might be wearing stretchy pants. That's great. But yes, that's more expensive. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth, in the land of Meritopia. Broadcasting from Café Anyway, I'm Mike Matthews. Did you know? I got that story from Rob Black, and I produce his podcast, and he's heard on AM 1220 KDOW weekdays in the 5 p.m. hour.
Anyway.
We're at Café Anyway. Rob's also on Cron TV, Monday through Thursday in the 9 a.m. hour. And when he does these stories, he jots down some notes, and I got these notes in front of me, and I noticed that a lot of with these notes, he doesn't fully complete a thought. It's just a quick little snapshot of something that's already in his brain, but he just wants to notate enough to get it's all in his head. But he does say that prices are going to peak in August. And prices will start to ease back down 4 to 6 months after the straight.
This is Mike's Podcast Picnic.
The straight reopens. I brought us all purple cheesecake filled pies. You're welcome. One gets married in life. Maybe one does. Maybe one should, because apparently married people are less likely to get cancer. Cancer researchers are now offering a good reason to get married. The Wall Street Journal. Yes, the Jeff Bezos owned Wall Street Journal. He still owns it, doesn't he?
I mean, people get stuck on stupid.
They do, because, what they don't get, a recent study of 4 million U.S. cancer cases, 4 million, found that cancer rates were 68% higher for men who had never married. 68%. I got a friend who never got married, guy, and as far as I know, he doesn't have cancer. I hope he doesn't. Then there is also women who've never tied the knot. The rates were 83% higher. Married people often have more economic stability and a strong support system. So if they're going through something like this, many married people tend to smoke and drink less. That definitely causes cancer rates to increase.
You will travel into the incredible universe.
If you are smoking and drinking. It just, the other thing we were talking about, marijuana, on the last podcast. Just anything that is on fire that you're inhaling is bad for. It is bad for the cancer cases, but particularly bad for peripheral artery disease, where your arteries get blocked. And that is one of the biggest diseases in America right now, with all the bad eating, with all the fast food, with all the grimaces. He's grimacing at us because he's watching us eat the bad food. So we have to turn that around.
Okay, last question. Can you please tell me that I'm pretty?
And that's the important thing. You are pretty. And that's all that matters, is you feel pretty inside. What else? Oh, so silver retirement is going on. Retiring boomers are starting to drag on the economy. They're taking about $4.18 billion out of the economy. The labor force participation for Americans aged 55 and older, it has dropped 40.2% from 40.2%. So there were 40.2% of Gen Xer. That's age 55 and older. Now, Rob, I don't know where he got this story, but in January of 2020, I guess people that were age 55 and older 6 years ago, there were 40% of them. Now, that same age demo is down to 37.2 this year, the lowest in 20 years. I don't know what that says exactly, but the interesting drag of the economy of boomers, 4.18 billion, because they're not working. But I'm sure they're contributing something else. They're still paying taxes. I don't know. Didn't exactly. Okay, back to this whole thing about electric vehicles. Because the gas, they got us over a flying saucer. Not a flying saucer, but over an oil barrel. Tesla rolled out their first semi-truck off their production line. They got a high volume production line at Tesla. They have a target of 50,000 of these things per year. These trucks are going to have 70% savings with fuel as compared to diesel. These diesel trucks, they're going to save 70% cheaper on the fuel. They have a range of 500 miles. No word here about how long it takes to charge one of these trucks to make them be able to go 500 miles and sing along with the Proclaimers. Because they would go 500 miles and 500 miles more, 500 more. And they're Scottish? I think so, because didn't Scotland want their independence from England? And they wrote a cool song about that everyone was singing back when that was happening, like 10 years ago. The truck is going to cost about $300,000. So I don't think you and I are going to run out and buy one of those. And how long will it take to charge this darn thing is what I want to know. I get a lot of people sending me stuff like music, and they want me to mention them. And and I laugh at I've also got word from Camera Radio, where I am heard at 5:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. And if you'd like to send me something and you're in a band, that's what I meant to say. Mike's Daily Podcast at gmail.com. And you'll hear that again later. You just go to mikesdailypodcast.com if you need that information. But I'd love to hear your band, whatever it is. Love to hear from you. Yes. And I did hear from Camera Radio, wow. And they said that they're going to have a thing called Rockzilla coming up on the weekend of July 4th. And they asked me, Barry over there asked me if I could do a guest DJ for an hour, be guest DJ. And we're going to be focusing on basically 80s music, but more like rock type stuff. So I'm on that already wrote down a bunch of song ideas, so we'll be doing that. I get to pick 12 songs. I'm looking forward to it. I'll tell you when exactly that's going to be. But that's coming up. Okay, the other thing was, I do have many interviews of musicians that I did over the years at mikesdailypodcast.com. Just click up there on the hamburger looking thing that says home. Wait, does it look like, is it a hamburger? They say the hamburger thing when they got the 3 lines, the 3 horizontal lines. Oh, no, wait. Oh, speaking of eating hamburger, that's what
That one I don't understand.
Taylor Swift would sound like if she ate a bunch of hamburgers and she'd be over 300 pounds. She'd sound like that. So, once again, stay away from fast food, I guess is what we're saying, to sum up. No, it's not a hamburger at the top of the page. It is just a thing that says home. And you click on that and there's a bunch of interview pages. Now, I don't think I have, do I have Chely Wright on here? So I interviewed Chely Wright years ago. She was an up-and-coming country singer. And she had a #1 country song with a song called Single White Female. Oh, I do have it. Oh, look at that. Okay, very good. I interviewed her 3 times, Chely Wright. And Chely Shoehart is partly inspired by her, who we're going to talk to in just a moment. I was thinking about her the other day because I heard a song on, actually, it was on Camera Radio. And it was with Trisha Yearwood. But for a second there, I thought, that sounds like Chely Wright. And I haven't heard any new stuff from her in years. But Chely Wright is a corporate executive now. And I forget the name of the company she works with, but I would love to interview her at some point and have a more updated talk with it. The interviews on my website, if you'd like to see them, they've been magnified. They go back to like 1994 type thing. Or was it, no, in around the 90s. So, an interesting thing, the story with her is I was at an event in downtown Ventura, the Majestic Ventura Theater, and she had just done her set, and she was walking with a friend of hers, and she asked me, where is the beach? And I said, oh, I will drive you and your friend to the beach. But I had a pickup truck, and it was a pickup truck that the back area wasn't open to just throwing stuff. It had a snug top. It had like a camper shell over it with one of those hydraulic doors that opened that didn't stay open because the hydraulics were all the pump thing that holds up the door. It wasn't working. Anyway, long story short, the door fell on her head. I was trying to move something back there, and she was helping me. So just the nicest person. I had this memory pop into my head as I heard this song from Trisha Yearwood, because there is a connection between Trisha Yearwood and Chely Wright. Trisha Yearwood sang on the song Chely Wright sang called Shut Up and Drive. Great song. In fact, I added it to my Spotify playlist if you want to track it down. There's a link, I think, at mikesdailypodcast.com. But after we went to the beach, it was nighttime, so I just showed her basically the Ventura Pier, her and her friend. And then we drove over to where there was one of the first wine bars in Ventura. I forget all the street names. I haven't been to Ventura in a while. Got to go back there sometime. But there was a wine bar, and she and her friend sat down and had a glass of wine. And there were these people sitting next to us. And people are very talkative at wine bars. Oh, who are you? What do you do for a living? They asked Chely. You kind of look familiar. And she said, oh, I'm a country singer. And they, oh, okay. You could have said I almost said some type of, okay, I will say a job that I have done. I'm a boat washer. I used to wash boats. That was one of my first jobs. And I'd listen to the radio while I washed boats, and that got me interested in being in radio. That's why I've been doing that for 40 years. Thank you, boat washing job. But boats are awesome, and you got to be on boats. It was cool. As long as you didn't fall into the water. That was the tricky part. So then her tour bus shows up and picks her and her friend up, and off they went. And that was the last time I saw her. But very nice person, and I am not going to be playing one of her songs on my playlist because she did not have any big songs yet in the 80s, and we have to keep to the 80s. But if I could widen the categories, I would definitely play one of her songs. And Trisha Yearwood married Garth Brooks. Trisha Yearwood for a while was married to one of the members of the band The Mavericks, and that is another band that I would play if I was able to play things other than 80s songs, because I loved The Mavericks, and one of my favorite songs by them is Oh What a Thrill, and sadly we lost the lead singer of The Mavericks, Raul Malo, last year. However, I'm changing topics, but not really. I did interview Raul Malo's wife, because Raul Malo's wife, now widow, was a twin, and she was on a reality TV show that featured Nashville Wives. I think it might have been called Nashville Wives or something like that. So that's also in the interviews. And as I'm looking at this, I'm noticing all of my pictures have disappeared that I had of different people. And that's very concerning because you can't see. Oh, here's a couple that for some reason are there. All right, good. It's not the most well-kept website, but I'm proud of it anyway. And it's safe to go to because it's got the HTTPS thing. You're welcome. So check it out. And look who's here. Check out who showed up right now.
Take it out, take it out, take it.
Well, we're not going to go out yet because we have to say hi to this person. Hello, I got this is Chely Shoehart. Was that Miss Rachel? That might have been, yeah. Mike Matthews, that's all fascinating stuff you were talking about. I should have a snow globe that has Miss Rachel in it, Mike Matthews. Chely Shoehart and her exploding snow globes. Yeah, I think now Netflix has a big stake in the Mrs. Rachel empire, so I guess you would probably have to clear it with them, but go for it. And look who else is here. Hello, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, wow, that was a fantastic story you told about that country singer. Yeah. So that was my brush with celebrity greatness. And I'll tell you, a lot of people got to, these country singers, a lot of them, wow, they were just so cool. They were very accessible. And I think one of the reasons why Taylor Swift got so popular is because she appeared at just about every radio station on the planet Earth back in the early days. She was showing up. She was doing free concerts for people. She was just very accessible. So it added to her prestige. I think that was the word I wanted. What do you think? Could I have used a different word? Here's the number to call.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And with all things having to do with Mike's Daily Podcast, we go to the mainframe and hear from A-Frame. Ah, thank goodness this thing got recorded because I was not about to do a take 3. No way. Even though take 5 is an awesome song. Thank you for listening.
Thanks again. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.